Hello, welcome to this breathwork video. My name is Allie with a.Marie.Speaks, and this is part of my breathing meditations offering mini-series here on YouTube and BitChute. Per request, I am offering these sort of tools and techniques that you can use for different energy alchemy, transmutation, to either calm down or amp yourself up or utilize different types of energies. Today's is going to be on the ocean breath, which I thought was a great one to do as my sort of first video here in this series. If you're interested in kind of the behind the scenes or what brought me to it, I did just do also sort of a welcome video, which I'll put in the description or in the comments if this is BitChute. If you missed that and you'd like to hear just what brought me to doing these kind of videos and what they're about and stuff, you can check that out. But it's not necessary, and hopefully each one of these will sort of be a standalone anyway, so you don't have to see it to do it. But it's there if you're interested in hearing me blab on. And thank you very much for your time and energies if you are, and for being here, of course. Now, the ocean breath itself is quite self-explanatory almost, but it's also very deep. Just like the ocean is kind of obvious and, you know, you can look at it and just think it's this, you know, the water, but it's very deep, right? And there's so much in it when you really think about it. And so the ocean breath itself, I believe, it's the same breath, and it could have been spawned off of, now I don't know the exact history or anything like this, so I won't, you know, don't hold me to site sources and stuff like that. Please, let's just utilize the symbology and the beautiful metaphors, right? It sounds like the ocean when you breathe in this way. And it's usually typically a nasal throat breath, so you're kind of keeping the lips sealed and breathing like that. It's almost like, like you're fogging up a window, like that, except you seal your lips. It's like Adrian on Yoga with Adrian says Darth Vader breath, you know, if you're familiar with Star Wars, but nowadays that's kind of not really... oh, well, it came back, didn't it? I think it came back with the youth a bit. So it might be. But it's like that. It makes a noise with it. And both the inhale and the exhale kind of make a sound to it. I think it's very similar to so hum, the breath where you hear so on the inhale and hum on the exhale, because the inhale itself, when you choose to breathe through the nose, in this sort of lateral breath that comes from the back of the nasal passage down the throat here and expand down into the diaphragm. See the breath coming down into the lungs and being very wide. And it makes this almost like oh sound, right? It almost sounds like so. So you hear that, and then the exhale, it's like a pushing out almost of air and a restriction in the back of the throat, like you're fogging it up like that, except you keep your mouth closed. And I like to, and this is more of the yogic ujjayi breath, but with the diaphragmatic breathing, so on the inhale it expands, and on the exhale it tightens and contracts. Not like, don't tighten up your stomach so much, but just that your abdomen and your ribs, you know, all the muscles that wrap around you this way, they expand on the inhale, and on the exhale they come together nicely. Not tight, like it doesn't have to be like, you know, hard, but enough that they pull in nicely, like a corset sort of, you know, and it helps you to really sit up straight too. You'll notice as you get into the breath, the spine will be very activated, and you'll be able to sort of find corrections in your own adjustments for your posture. It's really wonderful. Now, when you can get into it, you can really hear the breath the breath will sound like that ocean sound. If you've never been to the ocean, maybe you've seen it on TV, or you've listened to waves, but it has this sort of cyclitic sound to it. And I believe, and I really love it, to ground down into the natural pace of an ocean, and how with the inhale and the exhale, how nicely the gradient is from one to the other, and almost a slight retention on either or. I really love to envision, of course, the ocean and seeing the wave crash. And when the wave crashes on the surf, it really kind of rolls out slowly, and it hits its, like, sorry, I put my hand but it rolls out slowly and it hits like its absolute point, and then it begins to pull back. And as it pulls back, it almost gains in a gravity, and you can see it. This is what I like to envision as I'm doing ocean breath, is to really see when it pulls back in, that it's everything power and the depth of the ocean pulling back into you, your energy, your light, pulling down into the depths of you and doing like a beautiful somersault before it comes back out. And like riding that wave, the next wave that kind of crests and crashes is at the top layer of the water. And you can kind of see the depth of the deep of the ocean coming in and the top layer of the water pushing out. And it really helps to carry in and carry out that which you need and that which no longer serves. And with the resting point on the beach and the resting point, or the sort of flip and the change that happens in sort of the depths of the ocean, the darkness and the depth of it, to coming up to the lighter surface level water. The visualizations with it, they help so much. You can really get into them, and depending on what you need and what you're feeling, you can basically give yourself anything. That's why I wanted to really start with this breath, especially because it is so diverse in its application. And it's, for me, I've used it and do use it for many different reasons, even throughout the day, to calm down in stressful situations, to ground down when I'm overexcited. I also use it to really enjoy and savor peaceful moments or beautiful moments. Yeah, it can be wonderful if you're feeling even frustration or anger or annoyance, agitation, those kind of things. I will have some other breaths that, of course, are more specific in application and can be really beautifully aligned to those specific feelings. But the ocean breath, you can tailor fit it to yourself. And that's why I really love it so much, and also why I'll leave a bit more of an openness as to the application points for this one. But feel free to, as you do it and try it out, whatever you're feeling today, you can embody that today, and you can come back to the practice at any time, of course. Each time you do come back to the practice, in fact, even doing the same practice, it is different. You are different, right? Man never steps in the same river twice, right? Kind of thing. So we can bring that newness in to each practice, even if you choose to do this video again. If you do, my hopes in offering these videos, honestly, is the teaching practicality, and that you'll do them away from screens eventually, and really make them your own in your own world, and that I am just a wonderful teacher, but of course, it's always wonderful to have others around to know that we are, time and space is not linear, and it's not limited. And in fact, whenever we do choose to do this, we are together. And it's wonderful to have community in a communal space where we can commit to good practice together, and health and wellness, and share gratitude and love. So I really do appreciate you watching this video. And of course, watch it as many times as you'd like to. I hope you watch it to your full heart's desire. And so with that, I guess I'm going to have one more sip of my water, and then maybe we'll get started on the breath. Because I do hope to keep these videos within maybe a 15-minute window or something, so that they are easily watchable, and also if people do want to go back and utilize them, especially at first like a crutch to, if you've been confronted with a certain catalytic thing, or you're facing something, or you just feel a certain way inside that you're longing for to do that kind of practice again. You know, that it is here, and that it can be used in that kind of way for as long as necessary until you find something of your own in it, and then you'll be like, oh yeah, this is my own. Oh yeah, and I don't need that anymore. You know, this is, maybe I'll go back once in a while, but this is, I like mine this much better. You know, and that's the way it's supposed to be. We're supposed to like ours the best. We're supposed to find that, or wear the shirt in that it becomes your comfy shirt. You know, so. With that, let's sort of get started here together on that ocean breath. As I offered already, the visualizations and such. First I'll do, like I said, a bit of a lead or an attempted lead at this to go through for a few rounds, and then we'll do it a bit together for a few. So again, if you want to practice, I'll sort of copy off one of my favorite mentors, Yoga with Adrienne, who taught this to me via video, of course. I don't know her personally, but I have been doing her yoga series since like 2016 or something. So it feels like a rapport is there. But anyways, you can do that sort of to get the feel of what this feels like on an exhale, right? The sort of, and then try to do it with your lips sealed. And if I can do it on YouTube, you know, you can do it in the privacy of your own home. Don't feel embarrassed. Get comfortable in the way that it feels. Breathwork can be a bit silly. It can be a bit out of the box and get you out of your comfort zone a little bit, but it's good to do these kind of things. You know, muscle is built by tearing. You know, consciousness is built by change. So we can do this. We can do difficult things. We can do silly things, all in the spirit of learning and growing, right? So here we go. As a bit of a pep to myself and everyone. Like I said before, this is sort of a loud breath. I don't have a mic, sorry, so probably it won't pick it up on here either. But feel free to kind of practice as I am right now. And you can even see at the start where I'm getting started, my shoulders are going up and down a little bit. We want to try to not have that happening, ideally. That signifies that your breath is up here, right? And that the breath itself really wants to expand down here. You want to try to feel it breathing through the rib cage and not moving your shoulders so much. And you can almost want to try to exaggerate it at first, and that's great. And it can be very useful to exaggerate it so that you can really get the sound in your own ears and in your own state of you, to really hearing that sort of expanding, like, sound that happens on the inhale, right? And then the that happens on the exhale. But be careful that you're not overextending yourself to create lightheadedness. It wants, you don't want to be too forceful in the breath. But it does create a nice feeling as well, as you get it going. And now as we feel like we're sort of utilizing it, understanding what it feels like, I'm going to close my eyes and drop into this bit of a visualization, and I'll do a bit of a guided meditation here for us, just to help like a crutch others to get into the breath on their own. And so closing down the eyes, settling the breath into the pattern. Really allowing yourself to hear that ocean breath. The inhale pulling in, the exhale pushing out. Seeing the currents riding, that in-breath drawing deep within you, filling up the cavernous space, feeling the compression, even holding that breath for a moment before drawing in that beautiful inhale, that wave cresting, falling. Drawing in and holding for a moment. Seeing that exhale cresting out, crashing on the beach. The inhale pulling in, flooding you with love, nutrition, and support. Holding, feeling the fullness, and allowing that exhale to ride out. Pulling in again, freshness, feeling it, filling you up. Letting that exhale ride out, crashing on the beach. Let each breath bleed into the next. The cycle turning, morphing. Each part as powerful as the other. Noticing how each sound is like the other. And yet so different. Watch those waves and hear their motion, their change and impact. But know that you are the water moving the ocean itself. You are neither the push nor the pull. Let the breath move you. Let the noise become you. Be the motion and the change. And also be the stillness, the staying. Ground into the sound of the instrument you are. Like the conch shell, put an ear to hear God's whisper, the universe's song, to hear the ocean. Breathe into that deep power, own it, and know you are just as powerful as all of those images. They are just as much you as you are you, and as I am me. Let's give ourselves thanks for this beautiful practice, for the breath work, as we ground into the moment and return back. Feel free to open your eyes at your leisure. And I'd like to just thank you for this adventure, for this new teaching, for joining me here today. I hope you've enjoyed it. I'd love to hear feedback, positive or negative, anywhere in between. Thank you so much for your beautiful contribution, for taking this time for practice for yourself, most importantly. I thank you for that. And I hope to catch you on the next one. Bye for now.